Let's go this way. Let's go this way. Hey guys, Johnny Nerd out here, custom e-bike builder, mechanic, repairer, enthusiast, professional enthusiast, that's what I like to call myself. Go to johnnynerd.com if you want to help buy components, support for less than Amazon. My prices are cheaper than most people. I have very little overhead, so I'm able to have cheaper prices than almost everybody. That being said, I get asked this question a lot is, what was it like working at an e-bike brand? And like, well, why'd you quit? And I think this answer is different for everybody. I think for me, I was a very unique case because I had plenty of experience before I started working at e-bike brands, and that's why they brought me in. But I was an enthusiast, and I was I would say a visionary. I always wanted to have my own e-bike brand. I wanted to make custom bikes that are not being sold. I just wanted to always make e-bikes better. When I saw one that sucked, I just wanted it to be better. And my experience with e-bike brands is they are not any of that. They're mostly business people. If they weren't selling e-bikes, they'd be opening up like a dispensary, or they would be selling whatever is hot at the moment that they can make a good profit on. They're much more interested in margins than the end product. Don't get me wrong, it's like they still want to have a good product, they still need to have something that they're going to sell, but definitely they were not enthusiasts. They didn't ride e-bikes, they couldn't tell you what anything about the controller was. They couldn't do a lot of bike repair stuff, just basic bike repair stuff, which is very frustrating for somebody like me to work at a place like that. But again, most of the coworkers that I worked with, and actually since then, I found that most people who work at e-bike brands, like really, they don't know anything about bikes, but you don't have to. You're good at marketing or shipping and receiving, or you're good at just talking with people. You don't need to know e-bikes. And even when I've gone into different e-bike stores, I've gone to different trade shows, I've talked to the people there. And not to throw anybody under the bridge, but at the Seattle Expo, I was talking at a booth, and it was a very cool dual hub motor bike that I was looking at, and I was like asking the salesperson there about the specs of the motors, like how much watts does each one, does it have this? And they couldn't tell me. They didn't know how many watts each motor was drawing or the battery, and I was like, wow. And they're like, sorry, it's my second day. And I was like, wow. And that actually happened at another booth where I went to go test ride a bike. I was asking them about things, and they're like, sorry, I don't know. Like, and they were weirded out that I was asking them these questions. They're like, oh, sorry, it's only my third day. I was like, what? You got somebody who just started out here representing your thing at a trade show. It was just so weird. But we used to do that at our brand all the time as well. We would get people who had no experience in bikes or e-bikes or anything, but they would just go do business to business. They were good at selling stuff. They could sell you a VCR in 2022. And so that's what's more important than actually knowing your stuff. It's like, can you sell? Can you market? Can you take cool videos and cool pictures of this bike and show people doing cool stuff on your bike? That's what it was like. So for me, it was extremely frustrating. There would be times when it was like, hey, we want to carry a new bike, a new this, what should we design it with? And you'd be like, we got to do this and this and this. And they'd be like, oh, okay, cool. And they'd write it all down, and they'd have stuff. And then they'd go, okay, this is our new bike. And it was like, 10% of the suggestions. And it was like, and they're like, oh, because they got a good deal on it. And that was frustrating because I knew at the end of the day, it was like, you're just doing this because you got a good deal on it. And so you could resell it at a very high margin. And that would happen all the time. We would have companies, like actual manufacturers from China, they would come to America, they would come in our doors with a booklet of all the different bikes that they sell, and they would just go like this and literally just be like, you point at it, they would write down a number, how much it would cost, if you bought 100 or 200 of these bikes, and then that's how they would buy their bikes. And it was like, this is maddening. This is just, I don't like this. I don't like just being part of like a middleman reseller industry. And this is why I went off and I started my own my own brand selling, you know, e-bike kits, e-bike help, consultations. I wanted to be more part doing YouTube videos, offering people like help, free help. Unless you want one-on-one help, then yeah, you got to pay like $10 for that, for one-on-one consultations. But YouTube, you know, ask me a question. I'll try to make a video on it that's going to help you. Because I definitely think that the DIY custom market is where it's at, and nothing solidified that more than working at a brand. If you ever want to just like know whether or not you should build your own bike or buy a pre-made e-bike, go work at a pre-made e-bike brand for just do like 2 months there. Not even, just do it for like 2 weeks, and you'll be like, holy crap, I would never buy this product. Because you're not going to get support, you're not going to get service, and if you do, the person who you're trying to get help from is so overworked and overwhelmed, and they don't know exactly what they're doing, but they were told to just say these pieces for you. And yeah, for someone like me, it was very frustrating. But I think if you're just there to hammer a paycheck, you can make decent money. But again, at the end of the day, like they're so worried about making money that they don't really pay their employees all that much. So I was always promised good money, never made any money. And it was just like, even if I was making good money, I can't, selling your soul for how much? How much is it to sell your soul? What's it, is it worth it? Like, no. For some people it is, but man, I don't know. Hopefully that gave you a little insight into what it was like working for, you know, a couple of the e-bike brands that I worked at. I'm sure everyone is different. I'm not trying to lump every single person up, and every brand and every leader, every CEO is not the same. I'm sure there are some good brands out there that people are just bleeding hearts, and they want to make a great product and they don't want to price gouge. You don't know who those people are though until you work there and you work for them for a little while and you get to know them. And I worked for I've worked at a brand that the people were awesome. I just didn't like, you know, necessarily their business model and their prices, and you know, it's at the end of the day, I can't sell something that I don't believe in. But fortunately, man, I've struck gold. I'm able to sell a product that I truly believe in, that I believe at a very affordable price, and I'm able to offer support and help, and it's awesome. So for that, I'm very grateful. And I'm very grateful for you guys for supporting it and watching this video. If you made it all the way to the end, good for you. And I thank you. And you'll get your check for $5 in the mail. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Head out to johnnynerd.com if you want to check out my wares. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.